It's been a week of mutant monkeys, rumours of jokes about the Snyder Cut in James Gunn's Superman movie. It looks like the man is projecting himself onto Superman. It's becoming a crazy, insane mess. If it's fame you'll seek, Christian, I think you found it. Welcome back to Movies TV Mad. I am Mick, your host with the most, just ask your girlfriends and your wives. You can follow me on X, Twitter, at Movies TV Mad, and on Instagram and on Threads, if you're not already watching me on there right now, at Movies TV Mad X. On TikTok, Mad Mickey's World, and on Snapchat, BMouth60. Mick, your host with the most. And that, my friends, is facts. A very warm welcome to Thursday's edition of the DCU Daily. I need to do a disclaimer on yesterday's rant vid. I need you to understand where I'm coming from, where I'm pertaining from when it comes to Superman. I want you to imagine a scared little boy, learning difficulties. God knows what else was going wrong up there. I've never been wired up there like everybody else. I think you can tell that, right? I used to get the shit kicked out of me at school for being slow, for being different, whatever you want to call it, for having olive complexion skin, for being an Anglo-Greek Cypriot. So every day I'd get the VHS Superman 78 tape, put it in, watch it go in. And I remember that scene, the balcony scene in Superman 78 when Lois is interviewing Superman and she talks about him, you know, if he eats or not, and he just looks at her like this, and he opens his eyes widely. And like Lois, I'm looking into his eyes like this and I'm thinking, all I can see is goodness. No cynicism, just goodness. And to that little boy, me, that's the thing that made me decide that there was hope in a hopeless world. I found something to believe in, a film when in the real world there was nothing actually to believe in. It made me decide to keep going for another day. So if you don't understand about that rant yesterday, if that upsets you, if you're James Gunn or his bros, or you're a Snyder fan or whoever, you know, or the fandom ministry, you think, why is that guy saying that stuff about us? That's why I was saying it. Get my hero's name out of your mouths. Don't use him as the piggy in the middle, because basically, I don't believe any of you really have his best interests at heart. Now, there's some lovely Snyder fans out there who do love Superman, right? And there's probably people who watch Fandom Menace videos who are really nice people. Probably the people who present the videos are not bad people, right? But that's where I'm coming from. So, yes, let's get into Thursday's edition of the DCU Daily. It's been a week to forget for James Gunn, unless this is part of his plan. Unless he leaked the leaks about the mutant monkeys. Unless he's leaking that there's a joke or jokes about the Snyder Cut in his movie. How can there be jokes about the Snyder Cut in his movie? He's canonizing Zack Snyder's trilogy in his world. So Zack made, films about his Superman, inspired by his Superman, when we're in year 2. How did he make 3 movies in 2 years? It doesn't make sense. It could all be nonsense. It could all be BS. We simply don't know. The rumour mill is going haywire. What's insane about most of these rumours, they're damn true. The mutant monkey thing is true, right? It's because the rumour was part of the monkeys being in the pocket universe. In this pocket universe that Lex Luthor has discovered. So the mutant monkey thing is real. Now, I'm going to stick to my take on the mutant monkeys thing, because I basically think it's not that bad. I get why people are upset, right? Because he's trying to parody bots. He's trying to parody, people who sit on the internet spreading misinformation. But you all wanted Superman in the real world. What the Snyder fans did, you didn't want him, saving cats from trees. Isn't this what you asked for? This is Superman in the real world. But there's the other half of the fandom who just wanted a pure, Superman 78 kind of clone. You're simply not gonna get that movie. But the big story, I'm burying the lead here, as Lois Lane would say herself, because Sergeant Rock has been cancelled, right? Oh, sorry, it's been paused. It's been halted. That's what Deadline and Variety and certain sections of Access Media are saying. Let's be absolutely clear. It has not been paused. It has not been halted. It's not happening. It was never going to happen. This film was sold to you to create hype for Superman and the DCU. It was the biggest of lies. And once they allegedly reported that Daniel Craig backed out of this movie, I said to you that this movie isn't going to happen. And again, the guy who barely gets 6 likes a video, barely 100 views a video, right? Who's a nobody, right? You know why I do this? Because I love stories, I love DC, I love movies, right? I love it. I love this shit. I don't need the money, I don't need your attention. If you give it to me, great. But I don't care. I've been here since 2018 making videos. Nobody does that if they're not getting any views because they're hoping one day that they go viral. It's not going to happen, right? It's not about that. But I'm right. I'm mostly always right. But nobody believes a word I say. Everything I've said about Gunn and the DCU has been right. And say what you want about the Snyder fans on social media, but even though they don't really have any objectivity, as most stands don't, everything that they said and predicted about the DCU and Gunn is coming to pass. And everything that I've told you mostly is coming to pass. Those red flags we've spoken about so many times are coming to pass. What's amazing now, finally, the fandom menace are on the case. And, the Snyderverse stands are really on the case, but don't forget who told you all this SHIT first, me. So, it's been cancelled. Sergeant Rock has been cancelled. And you know what, Luca? I don't blame you for taking a bung to pretend you were making a movie. Because let's be clear, allegedly, right? Must say that, don't want to get sued. But this film was never ever happening. Then they threw Colin Farrell's name in the mix, which made people think, well, what about the Batman 2? So what does this mean for the Batman 2? Well, as far as I know, Matt Reeves is still working on that movie. They're still going to shoot that movie at some point this year. And I also used to believe in Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy, right? When my mum used to put £1 in my shoe or under my pillow when I lost a tooth, I actually thought a little blonde fairy flew down and did that, right? Who knows what's going on with Matt Reeves? Has he got health problems? Hasn't he got health problems? Right, that's not for us to talk about. Is this movie ever going to happen? But, another DCU project has gone south. Do you remember that press thing they did? And he was telling us about all these things. Swamp Thing that was basically not happening anymore. And I said at the time, you do not announce a full slate of movies and streaming shows before you release your Superman movie. Man of Steel was released then. They announced BVS. Say what you want about the issues within the DCEU, but they did that segment of their franchise right. You don't announce stuff, but it's all done for hype. That's why most of the projects are going south, because they were never a reality. Sergeant Rock was never a reality. I know, as that announcement came out that it was put on pause or halted or cancelled or whatever they're telling you today, whatever BS story they're telling you today. You're asking a question. Was it ever real? Was it ever happening? What's going on? Nothing was going on. But you know what their BS was? That apparently they couldn't get the exterior shoots, so they had to postpone the movie. You don't halt movies because you can't get a date for exteriors. My dad worked for a studio when I was a teenager. I've mentioned this to you so many times. Lies, Pinocchio, they're selling you a lemon. But let's pretend, let's live in another world, let's live in an alternate world where this film actually was going to happen. Who cancelled it? Because it has been cancelled, right? Let's be absolutely clear here. It has been cancelled. I don't care about your cope. I don't care about your BS. Just like when they delayed those 4 DCEU movies, it was nothing to do with COVID. It wasn't COVID delays. They weren't trying to fix VFX. There wasn't a backlog of VFX. Something duplicitous was going on. And the state of those 4 movies tells you that I was right yet again. So it hasn't been cancelled, it has been cancelled, or it never existed, whatever, right? But it hasn't been halted and it hasn't been paused. Do we understand each other? Are we clear? Forget your cope. DCU stands forget your cope. This is the truth. James Gunn's world is unraveling in front of him. Because as I said yesterday, if you're the studio, you must be shitting yourself. So yesterday, he was talking about the anniversary of Mr. Terrific. And again, there was a picture of him and the actor playing Mr. Terrific on set. Because he's always in the pictures, right? Because he always has to be involved. Everyone's so surprised about James Gunn's ego. I saw his ego. Again, I'm a pioneer. While everyone's going, oh no, Mick, you're wrong, right? Everyone's saying what I was saying 6 fucking years ago, right? Everyone. It's so hilarious that he's got an ego. He had an even bigger ego when the first Guardians of the Galaxy first became a success. He was doing videos with his missus and going, I don't want to see any, scripts and, any pictures to me and things like that. No, we know you don't, because the door of Hollywood is closed. Well, everyone's leaving Hollywood now. No one's making entertainment in Hollywood anymore. And that is a good thing. All their chickens are coming home to roost because new Hollywood are not good people. Now, old Hollywood weren't good people, but they were talented people. And they knew if we make entertainment, then we will make money. If we make stuff on the parameters of entertaining people or educating people without rewriting history, we will make money. It was a simple idea, a simple concept, and it worked for near on, 100 years. They're rebooting Desperate Housewives, one of my favourite shows of all time. I swear they sit there in the morning and they go, what history of an IP can we rewrite today? What classic TV show or movie can we F up today? I swear, I hate them. You don't understand how much I hate modern day entertainment, right? Because they want to rewrite all the history, right? Oh, they're doing a new Harry Potter streaming show. You know how much that's annoyed me as well. They're rebooting X-Files. I don't care. I don't care that, Ryan is a talented guy, that he's done Sinners and stuff like that. It may be a great show, it may not. I don't know. I know what they're going to do with it, though. I know why they're doing it. And it isn't to make a great X-Files series. Anyway, back to DC. So, it's a mess. So I don't know if James Gunn's been leaking this out on purpose, all this stuff, or is there someone out there trying to ruin James Gunn's DCU within the studio, leaking out this stuff? Listen, it's pretty obvious to me. The test screenings. People have gone to watch test screenings and they're leaking out slowly but surely what was in the test screenings. That's why I don't agree with test screenings. Nobody listens anymore. Nobody keeps the test screenings a secret. Test screenings don't work anymore. Make your movie, take a shot. Don't worry about test screenings. Don't care about asking the public what they think about a movie. Just make your damn movie. Cronenberg wrote and directed Dead Ringers. He didn't give a shit what people were going to think. Made his movie, released it. Controversial in some corners. Other people loved it. Did okay, not the biggest amount of box office, but, it was a cult classic. Take a shot. Creative risks are the best type of movies and television. And it's something we don't see anymore. It's the test screenings that have created these leaks, and it's a big problem. I don't remember all these leaks from Man of Steel. I don't remember any leaks from Man of Steel. Yes, Snyder's trailers always revealed a little bit too much, but they're always great trailers and they always got you hyped. But I don't remember these types of leaks. There were leaks about projects coming out. They couldn't keep a lid on it so much, but nor has James Gunn. Remember when we thought that James Gunn was going to be able to keep his secrets? Leaks from the DCU, from DC Studios, were worse than the DCU. Have been worse than the DCU. So, we got the fandom menace on the case. The whole internet is against Gunn now. It's in a lot of trouble. And finally, I have a gut feeling. And it's a crazy gut feeling. And maybe it's that curry I had last night when I washed it down with a bottle of scotch and a beer, and it's not digesting properly. But I've got a really, really icky gut feeling, and it's this: that James Gunn's Superman movie will be shelved, that it won't even see the light of day. Crazy, right? What do you think? Could my stomach be trying to tell me something?